Hello guys, welcome to Geography Situation, and this is yet another video. Now, natural hazards can occur anytime, at any place and at any conditions. So here are some ways we can reduce the impacts of natural hazards. So let's get started. So how to reduce the impact of an earthquake? So the first way is prediction. Even though it's currently impossible to predict earthquakes, we can plot graphs from past data of earthquakes to see see the places where earthquakes are likely to occur, and so we can evacuate people from there and issue warnings as soon as possible. The second way is building techniques. In this way builders can specialize buildings to withstand earthquakes. Techniques such as crossbars could be used to strengthen the foundation of a building or something, and so in case an earthquake occurs, the building can withstand the tremors. So yeah, it's a very useful method. The third one is planning. Now this one is a very interesting and expensive method. So in this method, the future buildings can be planned away from the fault line, so can be planned away from the places where earthquakes are likely to occur. But this one is also a very productive method because more lives are saved and more people are safe in this way. Fourth one, education. So this is very important. If you educate people how to behave in an earthquake, there are chances that more people get saved, and so this method is very important in this prospect. The fifth one, aid. So if an earthquake occurs in LEDC, big rich countries can donate some money and hopefully the effects could lessen and less death could occur. So yeah, it's a very useful technique as well. So next up is how to prevent the impact of a volcanic eruption. So as we said before, it's kind of a similar kind of thing. Like we have same 5 ways to reduce the impact. So the first way is prediction. So we can predict. It's currently possible to predict volcano by things such as measuring the ground surface. So if the ground rises, we can issue warnings. Volcanic eruption is likely to occur. The second one is planning. So in this way, homes can be planned away from volcano, so less people are prone to die. So this is a very important method. The third one is building techniques. Again, homes can be designed to withstand lava flow, pyroclastic flow, etc., etc. And so in this way, people are saved as well. Education. So people can be educated what a volcano is, how you can save yourself during a volcanic eruption, and so in this way, many lives are saved as well. And the fifth one, aid. LEDCs could receive aid from MEDCs so that the radius of the earthquake or volcanic eruption could be reduced. So how to reduce the impacts of tropical storm? Now if you see, there are 5 common things in every disaster which can help to reduce the impacts of the earthquake or volcanic eruption or tropical storms or droughts. Now these 5 things are prediction, planning, building techniques, education and aid. So let's take a look at these 5 techniques in the prospect of a tropical storm. So prediction, satellites can monitor the size and pathway of storm, so people could be evacuated beforehand and so less people could be killed. Next one, planning. So homes or buildings or businesses can be planned away from the places where there is likely to be a tropical storm, and so less people are killed, less businesses are destroyed, less economic damage, less environmental damage, less social damage. And third one, building techniques. Again, buildings can be designed to withstand the force of a tropical storm. So if in case a building is hit by a tropical storm, it should be able to withstand the power of tropical storm, usually 75 miles per hour wind speeds. That's a lot of power to get hold of. Fourth, education. People can be educated to sort of how to behave in a tropical storm. So for example, as soon as a tropical storm hits, people could be educated to run down to storm chambers to get themselves in a safe place and to prevent themselves from getting killed, basically. So and the fifth one is aid. So if a tropical storm occurs in an LEDC country, again MEDC could donate some money and provide some help for rescue so that less people are saved. So how to reduce the impact of a drought? So this one again, this is a bit different because we have some other techniques as well in drought, and the 5 techniques that we used before, some of them are not useful in drought, so let's take a look at them. So prediction. It is impossible to predict a drought but we can monitor amount of rainfall each year to see if whether it's a drought or it's a normal atmospheric circulation condition. So in this way we can help to reduce the impact of the disaster. Second one is farming techniques. This is very important because mainly farmers are affected by droughts. So if a place is affected by drought, then a method which uses less water for irrigation could be used. For example, drip irrigation. In this method, only drops of water are used and water which is required by plants is used. So more water is saved and less water is used for irrigation, which means more drinking water and more water for other stuff. Third, water conservation. Now, in some countries, there is a method called rainwater harvesting, which is used like it harvests the water from the rooftops and so that it can be used for household purposes, and this is a very useful way of water conservation. In the same way, expensive methods such as reservoirs could be used to conserve rainwater for people, and so this way to reduce impact of drought. Fourth, increase water supplies. So we could increase water supply in an area. For example, we can build a canal from a mainstream river to a dry area so that people could use that water for their benefit. The fifth one, aid. Again, this is the most common technique to reduce the impact of a disaster. MEDCs could donate money to LEDCs to reduce the impact of a disaster and less people are killed, and the impacts are less adverse. So to conclude, I think these methods are very important. You need to learn them, and there are quite a lot of exam questions coming on these topics. So I think this video was a very good example of explaining the different techniques to save people from the impacts of a disaster. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you guys.